The Democrats' favorite mantra, no one is above the law, just came back to bite them, and it's biting hard. Two massive investigations just dropped on Gavin Newsom and Tim Walz, and let me tell you, this could sink both of them faster than a lead balloon. So let's see how Tim Walz is handling the news.
I'm not going anywhere, and you can make all your requests for me to resign over my dead body. Will that happen?
Over my dead body, huh? That's rich, considering DHS just rolled in with 2,000 agents on the ground. And guess what? That's only the opening act. I uncovered the owners of a Hilton property who refused to book a room for ICE agents in Minneapolis. And once you see the details, it'll make sense. Then Zohran Mamdani's team got put on notice by the Department of Justice over a video showing a member of his staff saying that white people will be penalized. Good luck, New York. You're cooked. And it gets even juicier. The 26-year-old who broke into the vice president's home, surprise, surprise, the family is a major Democratic donor. All that, plus a bonus clip of President Trump doing what he does best today, working the crowd. I love when he goes into storyteller mode, and this one, it had me laughing out loud, so, I had to share it. As always, hit that like button if you enjoy this, and welcome to all the newbies who've joined the channel. We're so happy to have you with us, and don't forget to smash that notification bell so you're not leaving the latest political chaos up to the algorithms. All right, let's dive in. President Trump woke up this morning and he chose accountability, a concept California leadership is apparently unfamiliar with. The Golden State is officially off notice and straight into investigation territory. The president writing this morning on Truth Social, quote, California under Governor Gavin Newsom is more corrupt than Minnesota, if that's possible. The fraud investigation of California has begun. Thank you for your attention to this matter. You know what this means. It's time to grab the popcorn. And this could be curtains for Gavin Newsom's White House fantasies. I mean, we've already seen how fast fraud allegations flattened Tim Walz's ambitions, and that was before things got anywhere near full-blown indictments. As for Newsom, he's got millions of dollars missing in California. I would even argue probably billions. And the state's official explanation is basically, we have no idea where it went. So let's see if the investigators can find it, because something tells me Newsom knows exactly where the money is. Meanwhile, the heat just cranked up on Tim Walz. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt dropped a bombshell. The DOJ is launching a criminal investigation into the Minnesota governor himself.
We have nearly 2,000 agents from the Homeland Security Investigations Team. The FBI is on the ground, and we're freezing money. HHS cut off funding for child care centers and for daycares. USDA Secretary Rollins has been asking Governor Walz to see the recipients of SNAP in his state. So this is all hands on deck, rest assured. It's a top priority for President Trump, and he believes that Governor Walz is criminally liable, and I think the Department of Justice is going to find out.
What are the odds he hops on a plane to Somalia? Just asking. Because House Oversight Chair James Comer, he says a subpoena for Walz to show up in Congress is on the way.
He will receive a subpoena. We've invited him to attend. We're following the normal process for issuing a subpoena, one which will win in court. I expect him to be there. He knows the rules of Congress. He was in Congress. We not only expect Tim Walz to be there, we also expect Keith Ellison, because the reports we're getting from whistleblowers in Minnesota, they have both been warned numerous times over many years about these massive amounts of fraud to the tune of billions and billions of dollars in Minnesota, and yet they chose to turn a blind eye.
This is exactly why Walz had to cancel his third-term campaign. He's too busy trying to cover his tracks. I mean, he's probably deleting emails while we speak, because with this level of fraud, trying to cover up is basically a full-time job. And it's clear the governor is in full panic mode. Here he is today lashing out at the president.
If they have emails showing that I have committed fraud, you should get those. Why aren't they putting them out there? Right now, they are hiding behind a veil of innuendo. They're protecting the biggest fraudster in the White House.
The argument for the left always turns to either you're racist or Donald Trump is bad. That's all they've got. And while Walz tries to pull himself together, ICE has already moved into Minneapolis, despite the fact they were refused a room at the Hampton Inn in Lakeville, which is a Hilton property. DHS, they went public with the emails showing the hotel's refusal the other day. One email reads, quote, "We have noticed an influx of government reservations made today that have been for DHS, and we are not allowing any ICE or immigration agents to stay at our property. If you are with DHS or immigration, let us know, as we will have to cancel your reservation." Well, I did some digging, and guess what I found? That Hilton property banning DHS agents was bought last summer for $15 million by 4 Indian owners. It was purchased through an LLC. This is the actual document here on your screen. You can see it now. And here are the members of the LLC, which all names appear to be Indian. So after being exposed, Hilton apologized for banning DHS agents, but independent journalist Nick Sorter, he decided to test it for himself, pretending to be a government employee. First, the front desk said rooms were available. Then he asked for 10 rooms, and suddenly the receptionist became quite suspicious. Watch this.
I don't know if you can use a government rate or not, but...
Let's see. It depends, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Is it, what agency is it for? Using the government rate?
They'd be Department of Homeland Security.
So we're not accepting people from immigration, ICE agents, DHS into our property. It's just per management ownership.
Okay, I thought
Yeah.
that changed today. Was that?
I just talked to my the owner of the building, and he didn't say there has been any changes. So
Really? Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just policy.
Discriminating against law enforcement is just policy? Well, let me tell you, after this was released, Hilton is now coming out and saying they're removing the independently owned hotel from their system. They write, quote, "The independent hotel owner had assured us that they had fixed this problem and published a message confirming this. A recent video clearly raises concerns that they are not meeting our standards and values. As such, we are taking immediate action to remove this hotel from our systems. Hilton is and has always been a welcoming place for all." Now, this whole debacle, it didn't stop ICE for 1 second. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, she is now on the ground in Minneapolis with 2,000 agents. It is all hands on deck. And how does the governor respond today? He expresses his concerns for the safety of the Somali community.
Look, I'm concerned for my family, but I've got a little bit of protection now. My family, not so much. But what about Somali immigrants who are minding their own business? We've got 2,000 folks. We don't even know who they are. They'll be wearing masks, being here in Minnesota, harassing them. If you want us to fix fraud, come and help us. Come and help us do that. They're not interested in that.
First, masks are a matter of life and death to the left, and now they signal terrorist organization. I mean, make up your mind. And I would also argue, Tim, that the government is helping you fix fraud by doing this. They're just going about it in a different way because clearly your way is not working. And here's the comedy in all of this. While agents are rooting out anybody trying to hurt America, liberals are busy demanding Trump open the borders to Somalians. But then they panic when asked to actually house a refugee. Watch.
Trump is banning immigration from Somalia. What are your thoughts about that?
I think it's terrible.
Why?
I just think that there's a lot of bad things going on in Somalia, and we should be taking people in war-torn countries in.
We should be taking them in. We're trying to get people today to sign up to take in a Somali migrant. Would you be able to do that?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I could or not. I don't live in New York,
Well, that's okay. Where do you live?
Massachusetts.
We could send them to Massachusetts if that's all right. Could we get your name, email address, and then how many you'd be able to take in?
I couldn't do that without talking to my husband first.
Liberals, all talk, no action. Policies their leaders implement are fine, as long as they don't personally affect them. And speaking of Democratic leadership, check out who's rushing to social media to praise Tim Walz after he canceled his third-term campaign. First up, Governor Pritzker. He writes, "My friend Governor Tim Walz has been a dedicated public servant from his time in the National Guard to governor of Minnesota. Everywhere he goes, he carries with him his Midwestern values of kindness and standing up for working families, thankful for his service and sacrifice." My governor here in California, Gaslight Newsom, he also chimed in writing, quote, "Tim Walz is a man of character, strength, and compassion. He has served Minnesota with heart and dignity. Minnesota and America is better off thanks to his lifelong public service. Wishing him all the best in this next chapter. Thank you, Tim Walz." Better off? Who's better off? Tim Walz and his Somali friends? Because the average Minnesota taxpayer is about as better off as a snowman in July. I mean, Gavin Newsom, he's doing what he does best again, gaslighting the nation while also setting records for driving people out of his state. The company U-Haul just released its yearly report showing more people are leaving California than any other state for the 6th year in a row. To add insult to injury, California ranks dead last in states where U-Hauls are headed. So you ask why? highest state income tax in the nation at 13.3%. And Democrats like Gavin are trying to block Trump's working families tax cuts, denying workers real money back into their pockets. As for the top 10 U-Haul growth index states, the award goes to Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina, Washington, Arizona, Idaho, Alabama, and Georgia. Not a coincidence that Texas, Florida, and Tennessee, the top three, don't have a state income tax. People vote with their moving trucks. Now, the bottom 10 states, Michigan, Connecticut, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, and of course, California. And something tells me New York might be starting to give California a little competition for worst of the worst. First, we watched the new mayor revoke an executive order that protected Jewish residents. Then just yesterday, I played a clip of Mamdani's tenant director openly saying white people are going to be heavily impacted once property stops being an individual good and becomes collective. Well, the Justice Department just fired back, but before we get to their response, here's another gem from Mamdani's team now claiming people wanting to own their own home is somehow racist.
People like home ownership because they like control, and that's been perverted by like deep racism and deep classism in our society. So like we have to not have a racist and classist society. And
wanting to own your own home is not racist. It's freedom. It's economic independence. It's literally the foundation of this country. What's actually offensive is the idea that some people can't handle ownership or self-determination without government supervision. That's patronizing, divisive, and completely backwards. Property rights aren't about race, they're about liberty, and trying to turn everything into a racism debate is lazy, weak, and intellectually dishonest. Now, Assistant AG Harmeet Dillon, she just made it official. New York City, consider this your formal notice from the Justice Department.
Just because you're white doesn't mean you have fewer rights in this country. We all have equal rights in our country, and we will not stand for New York City violating any federal law whatsoever. They should be on notice. They are on high scrutiny, and we will swoop right in and do what's necessary to protect all citizens and taxpayers and residents of New York where they're legally.
It's unbelievable to think that this is where we are in today's world. And that's not the only heat Mamdani's getting right now. The mayor, who's never held a real job in his life, thinks he can now reimagine how World Cup tickets are distributed.
We have made what used to be a working class game into a luxury experience. And there are too many for whom it doesn't matter where the World Cup is being played in the world, they know where they're going to watch it. It's TV. And we want to ensure that there are more experiences available.
Someone needs to tell him that the World Cup isn't even in New York City. And if it were, fans would be stuck paying the new $3 bus fare that just went up and into effect on Sunday. So much for free buses. And New York, don't say we did not warn you. Now, Mamdani also, after just being a mayor for a day, lit the Freedom Tower in New York City right up in Hamas green lights to honor Muslim Heritage Month, which normal people here in the United States call January. I mean, buckle up. The first few days of Mamdani running the Big Apple are already a major warning. Then over in Georgia, the dominoes keep falling for Democrats who support BLM. A federal grand jury just indicted Democrat Karen Bennett for pandemic-related fraud. She allegedly collected unemployment for employees while her business stayed open.
Federal agents charged a second Georgia lawmaker with defrauding taxpayers through pandemic unemployment insurance. A grand jury indicted Stone Mountain Democrat Karen Bennett. Prosecutors allege she obtained unemployment benefits for employees even though her business remained open through the pandemic.
Now, Bennett is the second Georgia lawmaker arrested on pandemic-related fraud charges. The grand jury also indicted, you might remember in Covington, Democrat Sharon Henderson just last month. And over in Cincinnati, Ohio, the hammer-wielding vandal accused of smashing windows at Vice President JD Vance's home, turns out he's allegedly the son of a very wealthy Democrat donor. William DeFore, 26, who apparently now goes by Julia, which speaks for itself, was arrested after allegedly shattering 4 windows. His father, also William DeFore, is a pediatric urologist and University of Cincinnati medical professor. Now, the father donated $10,000 to Kamala Harris's failed presidential campaign in 2024 and has donated upwards of $5,000 to former President Joe Biden and former Vice President Kamala Harris's respective campaigns back in 2020 and 2024. As for the son, he's got a tricky mental health history, which we typically see in these situations, including a 2024 sentence for 2 counts of vandalism at a local interior design company. Instead of a standard conviction, DeFore was sentenced to 2 years of mandatory mental health treatment, which is still ongoing, by the way, according to court documents. Then in April 2023, DeFore was charged with trespassing at a psychiatric hospital. He was originally held on a $10,000 bond, but a judge determined he was not mentally competent to stand trial. So what did they do? All the counts were dismissed in a November 8th filing that year. Well, now he's back in court, this time charged with obstructing official business, criminal damaging or endangering, criminal trespass, and vandalism. Let's switch gears here now and go to a brighter note. President Trump started the day off today with a great laugh. Remember that massive media freakout a few months ago when the press insisted President Trump was missing, all because he skipped one press conference after doing 32 straight days, which honestly might be a record? Well, today, Trump went full storyteller and had the room cracking up. In true Trump fashion, here's the president recounting the moment the media apparently decided he had kicked the bucket.
One day, do you remember I didn't do one? Because I took Kai, my very brilliant golfer, beautiful young lady who swings the club so beautifully. She's a great scratch golfer and loves playing. Grandpa, would you take me to play golf? So I ran, I play golf in like record. I play speed golf. It's better that way. You know the expression? Miss it quick. No, I play speed golf. But I took off 2 hours, and the press couldn't find me. But they knew I was there because they follow me. And I was getting, are you okay? Guys are calling me up. Some of the guys in this room. Sir, are you okay? Yeah, what's the problem? There's a report, sir, that you're no longer with us. Remember that? No. The report was that I don't want to use the D word. That's such a horrible word. Dead. I don't like. There's a report, sir, that you're no longer with us. I said, well, I just hit a 280-yard drive. This isn't bad.
Classic Trump, turning a media freakout into a comedy routine while casually hitting a 280-yard drive while out with his granddaughter. Well, that does it for us today. And if you've missed yesterday's video, you have to check it out. People loved it. I break down Nicolas Maduro's defiant courtroom hearing and show how Venezuelans here in America are pushing back against liberal protesters that are demanding Maduro be freed. The left really has no clue. Go ahead, click on that video you see now on your screen, and I'll see you over there. As for everybody else, thanks for watching, and as always, have a great rest of your day.